Roadhouse 2024 is finally out on Amazon. We've all seen the original 1989 Patrick Swayze classic starring Jake Gyllenhaal as Dalton, originally played by Patrick Swayze. That movie was a mess when it was first released. Everyone gave it bad reviews, and it was not that common in the industry back then to make a movie like it. And very few critics said that it had some pros in it, but the movie did. It depends on your perspective and how you'd like to see it. It depends on the ironic vision of the viewer. But it lived up to be a legend movie that we all loved and had good times watching it over and over. People love it. I love it. I kind of find it so much fun watching it. The vibe, the action, punches by Patrick Swayze to the faces of his enemies. That was a good film. The movie was released in an era when the industry had many movies that embraced their own cons and silliness and turned that into an American identity to become a good product for the American film market back then. This Jake Gyllenhaal Roadhouse is trying to implement the same thing, but this time he's a loner who comes to town, punches a lot of people, kills a couple people, and sorts things out, which is the same thing as the Old West gunslinger cowboy. Doug Liman and his crew tried to capture that kind of vibe. They succeeded at times and struggled in others. It's an attempt to bring back the charm of the original while introducing new elements. However, most of the time, the audience expresses apprehension about whether the remake would live up to the original's legacy, a sentiment often shared with remakes of beloved classics. Roadhouse 2024 is like the old version, but with some minor additions. It's about a boxer named Dalton who had to work in a bar owned by a woman facing some problems. He'll encounter many problems throughout the events. In the new version, Jake Gyllenhaal portrays the hero Dalton, taking over from Patrick Swayze in the old version. Jake is one of those talented actors whose work always feels successful and takes the film to another level. So if the director chooses Jake for the lead role, it's a guarantee of the film's success. And we all saw the commercial campaign of the clip when Jake was taking stage and measuring weight before a UFC fight. How he looked? Jacked, and all tied up for the role. He was very dedicated to his work, and we all saw that in his movies before, like Southpaw or Nightcrawler. And indeed, that's what happened here. Jake elevated the film, delivering a consistent and powerful performance. His acting was exactly as he was asked to, and even better. The comedic scenes were particularly enjoyable. He effortlessly made me laugh without much effort. His confidence during fights made him seem like a real boxer. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What I liked about Jake's character is that initially, he didn't want to use his strength for evil, but people provoked him, starting the fights themselves. We saw that in parts when he punched and kicked people real bad, and that scene when he took that guy to the ER. He's a mixed character, which added some thrill to the movie. Conor McGregor's role, it's alright. He had a presence that drew the audience in, and his character was very well done. Despite appearing in the third act, his impact was strong. And here's the thing, I felt he was pushed into it. It was so absurd. It was like he was playing Connor, like if they brought someone else trying to play him. You feel what I'm talking about here? Jessica Williams as Frankie played her character nicely, not annoying me. Her performance was calm and good, although I wish she had taken the opportunity in a few scenes to show more facial expressions or emotions, but she chose to stick with the same calmness she started with. I really liked the performances of most of the people who appear here, even the characters and fighters who only appeared once or twice. Their presence felt impactful and important in the film. One of the things I focused on was looking forward to seeing how they turned out was the action scenes. They were some of the things I really enjoyed most in the film. The scenes were well executed, designed, and shot beautifully. The moves themselves were fresh to the eyes, like I hadn't seen them in action movies before. The boxing scenes between Dalton and Knox were among the most enjoyable scenes in the film. But I know they were that way because of the CGI. No cameraman would go around the punches and elbows while avoiding a kick like that. It was a new thing to the industry to make the fight scenes look that way. And I don't mind using CGI, but I think it was excessive. I like the attention to flashback scenes and the choice of music that suited the scenes. From the first scene in the film, it was nice and had a powerful effect on me, drawing me into the atmosphere of the film and affecting me. The cinematography plays a very important role in a film like this. I think it was mad for the big screen, but I don't know why Amazon is taking a movie with such a production and putting it on an online streaming platform. They're taking out the heart of the industry. I saw a video on YouTube for Doug Liman with Casey Neistat talking about how hard he used to put the movie on the big screen first because it's where it belongs. He made it that way, and he described it as the work of his life. It's a sad thing, but it is what it is. There were a few things that bothered me in the film as well. The dialogue in the film was sometimes strong, sometimes a waste of time, and sometimes unnecessary. The dialogue was very engaging at the beginning of the film, creating great momentum and engaging the viewer. There were enjoyable conversations among everyone, but starting from the second act of the film, there were some odd things, just padding. And I think the comedic dialogues relied more on the actors' performances and the general situation than the content itself. I also felt that there were some filler events in the story, but it felt natural in the context of the film that's 2 hours long. It's normal to have filler in some events. The pace was a bit slow, which was noticeable, although there were many times when there was excitement in the events. Most of the time, it was slow, and that was very clear. So there was a lack of consistency in the pace for me, which sometimes made me lose focus with the film. The love story that appeared in the film felt strange to me, to the point that it felt like it was unnecessary and an unnecessary addition to the film. There was no need for it at all. In the last act of the film, I felt a bit of confusion or that something strange was happening. Overall, the film is good and enjoyable. I really enjoyed it, and I know many will disagree with me on this. I know that the original Roadhouse was epic, and we've all seen it dozens of times. Some of you don't think that an Amazon movie that was just released will take over, but it introduces new ideas and themes. In my opinion, it's a respectable action film that deserves to be watched. Its age rating is R, and I think it is very appropriate. It got 6.2 on IMDb, and I think it deserves more, but it's fine. That's it. Tell me, what do you think about the movie if you've seen it? And if not, would you see it? Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and don't hesitate to drop any recommendations to watch. Tell me, what are you hyped for in the next video? And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.